Hi friends, I'm Abby and welcome back to my channel. So today I will be doing my 2020 in review video. So I just thought I'd look back on the year of 2020 and see how I did. So the first thing to review is that I made a channel on YouTube, which is completely new for me, and I posted 37 videos over the course of the year and I gained over 500 subscribers. So I am so proud of myself for having done this and got out there on the internet, to be making content twice a week regularly, and to be doing it since the beginning of September, and to have found a place in this community. I'm so proud of myself for having done that, and it is a real highlight of my 2020. So that is a small little aside for channel, but now into my reading statistics and review. So if you don't like statistics, then this isn't the video for you, but I love them. I think I've got a bit of a mathematical brain, and so I do spend a lot of my job on spreadsheets, but I really enjoy looking at stats and seeing where my focuses are with reading and where I think I should try and develop, and just seeing the analytics behind what I read. I don't know, it just really interests me. In the year of 2020, I read 46,753 pages, and this is the most pages I've ever read in a year. And I also read 102 books, and I have never read this much before in a year, and this was definitely influenced by lockdown and working from home and having a lot more time on my hands to dedicate to reading. And I feel as though I read so many good books that it wasn't just an increase in quantity, the quality of the books that I read this year was seriously good. The shortest book that I read was 43 pages, and that was The Call of Cthulhu by H.P. Lovecraft, and the longest book I read was 894 pages, which is I Am Pilgrim by Terry Hayes. Out of these 102 books, I read 9 2-star books, 4 2.5-star books, 17 3-star books, 13 3.5-star books, 29 4-star books, 8 4.5-star books, and 21 5-star books, and one book that I didn't give a rating. So a lot of the books that I read were really highly rated by myself, that I had a really positive year in terms of ratings and books that I read. And there weren't that many that actually fell in the middle, in the 3-star range, which is where I feel as though a lot of books generally fall. But I obviously had a pretty good year picking out books that I was really going to enjoy. I feel as though I have more 2-star books that I am used to, and I rarely use the 1-star rating. I feel as though I have to really, really hate a book to give it 1 star, super hate, my hate for Madame Bovary. And that doesn't really happen, because if I'm not liking a book, I'll just DNF it, and then I don't really have that many 1 stars. I'm very happy with that spread. In terms of genre, I read 1 contemporary book, 67 fantasy books, so I read a lot of fantasy, 1 historical fiction, 2 horror, 2 non-fiction, 14 romance books, 8 sci-fi, and 7 thrillers. So as I said in my 2021 goals, I would really like to read a lot more sci-fi next year and really get to grips with that genre. And I feel as though some of these, there might have been books which are very much in between fantasy and sci-fi, and I might have just classed them as fantasy. I feel as though I definitely have some work to try and diversify my reading in terms of genre, and the one that I'd really like to focus on is sci-fi. In terms of demographic, I read 74 adult books, 1 middle grade, 11 new adult books, and 16 YA. I'm pretty happy with that split. I read a lot more adult books this year than I think I've ever read before. I don't have stats for previous years, but I would say I feel as though growing up I used to read 50-50 between adult and YA, and this year I've really shifted it to reading predominantly adult. The format that I read the books in, I read 13 books on audio, 16 were ebooks, and 73 were physical books. Occasionally I might have listened to it and read it at the same time. I much prefer reading physically than any other format. It's just the way I prefer to consume books, and having a physical book in my hands is that. So I'm happy with this. I'm surprised that I read so many ebooks and audiobooks, quite honestly, because I do not gravitate towards that as a format. I am very happy with this. This is my how I've split between authors that were new to me or if I'd read from them previously, and I'd say that's pretty much 50-50. So I'm slightly more skewed towards authors that I had previously read, so 51 books were from previously read authors, 5 were rereads, so I guess those would count into that as well, and 46 were new to me authors. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty happy that I've got a mix between authors. So yeah, I feel as though that's I'm not just reading from the same authors, that I've got a diverse choice of different authors. And reading 46 new to me authors is amazing. Like that's a lot of new authors and voices that I'm bringing into my library. I then have read 76 books written by females and 26 by males. So I realised at the middle of the year that I had read like 99% female authors, and I'd only read 4 books by men at that time, and 2 of them were Brandon Sanderson. So for the second half of the year, I really tried to read a bit more male authors, and because I enjoy a lot of the books that I had read by men, so I don't know why I was just so focused on women. And I mean, it's very good that I'm reading female authors, especially in the fantasy genre where there are so many male authors. I'm quite happy with this, but I would have liked it if it is more 50-50, because I don't want to be excluding men from my reading. And I guess because I do like all the romance books I read, they were all written by women. I do like fantasy romance, and so that's predominantly written by women. So I am, I guess, skewed towards female authors by the nature of the genres that I read. But I definitely would like to make sure I am having this pretty even. But I guess 3/4 female to 1/4 male is okay. Ethnicity of the author. So I try my best to put authors in to the correct ethnicity. If I didn't get it right, very sorry. And I do really want to improve upon this stat. I don't want to have a fixed goal on it, because that just seems like it's forced, and I want to be picking books that I'm interested in reading just because their plot sound interesting and not because of the author's ethnicity. But I would like to be reading a lot more diversity, when 77 of the books that I read were written by white authors, and so only 1/4 were written by other nationalities, and I'd much rather that would be, I don't know, 50-50 between white and non-white authors. But I'm very happy that I have been reading from a variety of nationalities, but I think it's definitely something that I could improve upon. Part of it is, I guess, that publishing is skewed towards white British or American authors, and so we are stuck with that in a little way. But as readers, we should be trying to read diversely, and that will help shift publishing. So I have a how I acquired the book. 18 of the books I got on discount, so probably at the charity shop. 30 of the books were full price. 13 of the books that I read were gifted to me. 7 of the books were, I guess, Kindle price. So I didn't call that full price, because Kindle prices, I only buy them when they're like $2.99. 8 of the books were on Kindle Unlimited. 7 were from the library. 9 of them were rereads, and 10 of them I got from Scribd. And I'm actually surprised by that, because I deleted my Scribd account like midway through the year, but I did listen to quite a few audiobooks on Scribd before I did that. I'm happy enough with that mix. I'd say it's a pretty good spread between how I acquired the book, because I should probably try and use my library a little bit more to buying books full price, but that's that. A publication year. So like 50% of what I read was released in either 2019 or 2020. So I am definitely skewing towards newly released books, and not really reading many books that were released pre-2000. Actually, I only read 2 books which were released pre-2000. And those were in 1928 and 1969. So I am definitely skewed towards modern books, and it would probably be good for me to try and read some more backlist books instead of focusing on all these new releases, and that would probably really help with my incomplete series as well. So I think there could be some work done on that to really try and read some older titles. But it is good that I'm getting to new releases and reading them, and I have looked into my publishing split. It's a bit tricky to look at this just because of how many publishers that I read from. So just bringing out the big ones, I read 12 books from Harper Voyager. I know that they're a favourite publisher for me. I really enjoy a lot of their publications. I also read 12 books from Orbit, another favourite publisher. So I am very happy that I read 10 self-published books. So 10% of my reading was self-published, which I'm very happy with. And 9 of the books were from Tor. So those are my main 4 publishers that I got my books from. So I'm very happy with that. and that I read from such a variety of publishers that there were so many of them. I'm happy with that. And then my final stat is series check-in, so whether I started a series, finished a series, or whether I was just continuing that series with that book. I started 20 series in 2020, and that's just too many because I only finished 10. So I started double what I finished, and that's just not good enough. That is not good enough, Abby. I want to be finishing series at the same rate that I'm starting them, and by doing this I'm just creating a spiral of new and more series. So that needs to be fixed in 2021. I did DNF 7 series, so I read the first book and then decided that I'm not going to continue with that series. Fine. I continued in 19 series, so I might have then finished that series. This is just if I then read, that was like the second book in a series, and I might have finished it. I reread 8 books, which might have been part of a series. So like I'm currently rereading the Mistborn series, but I haven't counted that as like a new series continuation finish because it's all a reread. And then I read 38 standalones, and I'm actually surprised that I read so many standalones. Like that seems like a lot to me. So that is all of the stats that I have compiled for this video. I just love stats, and I hope you do too. Yes, I'm very happy with how this year went, and I do have a few, as you may have seen, I have a 2021 goals video, and I do aim to like really work on 2020 and work on my goals and try and like just read as diversely as possible and be happy with what I'm reading and just enjoy all the books that I pick up. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in my future videos. Bye!